Hello, everybody. Welcome to the latest edition of latest episode of Inside Inter Miami. Andre Fernandez is on vacation, so I am running the show today, and I have a special guest with me, who happens to be from Argentina, who happens to have a lot of background with Inter Miami, with Argentina. I thought it would be a perfect time to bring on Fernando Fiore, el presidente. Anybody who's a soccer fan. There you go. All right.
Now
Anyone
it's
who's a
official.
soccer fan, thank you. No, this guy is, well known nationally. He is a local treasure. Everybody in South Florida knows him. If you are tuning in from around the world, you need to know Fernando. We've had him on the show before, so maybe you remember how entertaining he is. He started off as an actor. He's from Argentina, started off as an actor, went to New York, and then migrated into the world of TV and radio. He is the Spanish voice of Inter Miami, and he's also just an overall fun, great guy and an incredibly passionate fan of the Argentine national team. So, before we get started, though, with Argentina, I wanted to talk about our media game. Here's a little inside scoop for all of you out there may not know that Inter Miami, for the second year in a row, they hosted the PR department hosted a media game. And yes, it meant that we in the media were invited to play in on the field at Chase Stadium where Lionel Messi and Busquets and Alba and Suarez and all of those guys play. We took the same field. In fact, Busi was out there watching at the very beginning. He left very quickly, so I think maybe he was not too impressed with what he saw. Well, you think he was?
No, I don't
Fernando, you
know.
think he was
I,
impressed?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I was there. I talked to him. We have a nice chat. Uh, I didn't think about it. You think that he was not impressed? I think that he was actually he was much more impressed than many other people. Say, no, no, no. I can't watch this. I have to go and let him run this event because I don't want to be involved. They might ask me to play with them, and I'm not worth it. I think that was the case.
Either that or he was intimidated. Maybe he was actually intimidated by all of the talent that he saw in the field. But it was a
That's
lot of
another
fun. So
thing.
there were two teams. There was a pink team, which Fernando was on. I was on the black team, and my team was coached by Julian Gressel and Robert Taylor. And Fernando, tell us about your team.
Yeah, our team it was the togetherness team with a pink uniform, and it was coached by two compatriotas, Franco Negri and Chelo Wenger. So we have our two corners on the defense of the Inter Miami. And since I was playing left back. Then I was pretty good for the time. Although the first half they asked me to broadcast to broadcast and play by play the match. So that's what I did the first 30 minutes, and
And we
uh,
were
and it
winning,
was
by the
fun.
way. We were winning. My team was
Yeah.
winning in the first half. We went into intermission feeling pretty cocky, I have to say. And by the way, we got jerseys and everything with our nicknames. My nickname is Meech, Meech. So I had my jersey with Meech on the back, and Fernando had his jersey. What did your jersey say, Presidente?
No, last year it says Presidente. This year it says Fiore. And,
Okay.
and and like I said, the most important thing when I when I noticed in which team I was gonna play is that I wanted to play in the pink team so much because I have like 10 black jerseys from Inter Miami, but I had only one pink jersey, so now I have two. So I was happy from the very beginning, and like you said, even though we were losing 2-0 in the first half, then I said, well, I'm gonna go into the game in the second half. And what happened? Just the facts, Michelle. Just the facts.
They won. They won the game.
Ah!
Yes, I think it was 6-3, I believe, was the final
Yes.
score. I believe it was 6-3. Uh, It
Yes,
was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. The coaches, they were laughing. They had so much fun coaching us. I talked to all four of the coaches and I asked them after, have you ever seen anything like this? Have you ever experienced or seen a media game? None of them ever have. In fact, Robert Taylor joked to me. He said there aren't enough journalists in the entire country of Finland to field two teams in a media game, which was quite
that's
funny.
funny.
Um,
Let
but
me
anyway,
bring
those
wait,
guys have
wait,
never.
wait. Let me bring a story. Let me bring a story because I know you are humble and you don't want to mention it maybe, but let me tell all the millions and millions of people that are viewing this podcast with Michelle from the Miami Herald. Back in 1998, the two people you see now in this podcast, Michelle and myself, we were a little younger back then,
Just a
and we
little. Yeah.
we played in the very first media game sponsored by the Miami Fusion, our
Fusion, the first
team back
MLS team.
then. our
Yes.
our team back then, and he was playing in the same field of the
It
old
was
Lockhart
Lockhart
Stadium.
Stadium. It was Lockhart
Yes,
Stadium, but the ground, that hallowed ground, is the same hallowed ground that
yes,
we played on the media game in 1998 with the Miami Fusion
and we
media.
have the
And
pictures. We
now
have the pictures to
we
prove it.
have photographic evidence to prove it. We also have photographic and video evidence of this game the other day, which really was a lot of fun. And this is the last thing I'm going to say on that, and then we'll get to the real stories. Is that I will admit I am 59 years old. I was sore for two to 3 days. I was sore. I mean, my all parts, all of my joints, my muscles, I could definitely feel because I was trying hard. I was playing mostly defense, but I was on the way. I was running up and down and trying to cover people. And I made a few really good passes and one really nice steal. But mainly, I thought I did pretty well considering.
Yes.
But the best player on my team, by the way, was Jenny Chu. By far, Jenny Chu, who works for CBS Sports, she played on the Mexican junior national team. She was on the U20 team of Mexico and played for University of North Carolina. She was the best player on the field, period. I don't know, if that's going to offend Fernando, but she was really good.
No, no. Well, you are 59. I'm 64, and I'm playing every Saturday. And also, it's difficult to go toe to toe with young kids. Uh,
Yes.
Obviously, some of these young players, like Jenny Chu, they decided to play on the same side of the old guys are. So I have to be really careful because she's fast, like you said, and she's a great player. But again, our experience when you are an old guy, an old dog, you have some tricks. And in my social media, Fiore Oficial in Instagram, you can see one of my wonderful no look back heel passes to Mark Rosas. And I think that was the highlight for me. So, and then I make a nutmeg to a very young player from Argentina who played very well in your team, Michelle, the famous influencer, 1.2 million followers, Pollo Alvarez, which just
Right, Pollo.
interviewed Lionel Messi a few weeks ago. And it was a very clean nutmeg. He put all his highlights in his social media. He didn't put that play. I don't know why.
Gee, I wonder. No, Fernando was good.
I
I
have to
have to
ask
say,
him.
Fernando's a good player. Fernando, you played very well. You're very strong. You're a good player. Okay, so now let's switch over real quick to Argentina. Talk to me. We were joking, you were joking with the local media today that some of them were saying, oh, of course, the Copa was, set up so that Argentina could win. And you said that you've been hearing this for decades. Talk to me about that as an Argentine fan. First of all, how do you feel about them winning? And then, just talk about that theme, that topic.
I'm extremely happy. I'm very passionate. Someone just put in a social media also the moment that the referee whistled for the last time on Sunday night, and I was really emotional. I was crying. I'm very, 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 uh, you know respectful to the media when we are in a press box. So I didn't scream. I was crying. I just reacted with no sound. It was a lot of people around me that they were, cheering and getting crazy. But as like I said, as
Oh,
an all,
the press box that I was in, by the way, the press box that I was in,
yeah,
the Argentine media and the Colombia media were definitely not showing their neutrality. It
yeah,
was loud in the press
yeah.
box, for both media sides. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's difficult. It's difficult. I know that, but I was very respectful. But I was crying my heart out, and you have to take notice that I suffered for covering Argentina for 26 years without winning, except for the Olympics, which unfortunately I didn't. I wasn't there to be present on the Olympics in Greece, um, and so it was bad. It was a bad 2 decades and a half for me watching pretty much almost every final except the Centenario, the Copa America Centenario in New Jersey that Fox didn't let me go at all. They say that no, that they need me on the studio, they need me on the desk. So we were doing that from LA, and they didn't let me go to the final on the stadium in MetLife. But all the other ones, I saw them live. Copa America
Mm.
2004, we lost to Brazil. The Confederations Cup that we lost to Brazil in Germany 2005. The 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 one that we lost in Brazil 2014 against Germany. I was there also. I was also in Venezuela when we lost with Brazil again in Copa America 2007. So I suffered a lot through the years, and so now I couldn't go to the Copa America in Brazil because it was COVID, but then I was fortunate to be present in Qatar 2022, and now in my town, in my city, in Miami to see this Copa America. So I'm really getting all the good times now, and I'm happy about it. I
What
really
do you think
enjoy it.
about the team? How do you think the team, because it seemed like the team found a way to win, but the
Yeah.
team was not playing. It's not super overwhelming everyone. Messi
No,
certainly did
no.
not have his best tournament. What do you think it means going forward for the next 2 years? What's your
Well,
assessment of the Argentine team?
uh, it's the present what it counts, and in the present for us is one being champion, second losing a big part of our team like Di Maria, which
Hmm.
is proven that he can still play for the national team, but maybe he wanted to go on a high note, and it's very you have to respect his decision. Um, we don't know. We are seeing obviously that Messi unfortunately will have to take care more of his injuries. I think that he wants to play. I was in the press conference. Lionel Scaloni says that usually the problem with Messi is not that his ego that he wants to be on the pitch. Is that he feels that if he leaves the pitch, he doesn't give the support and the
He's
help to
abandoning.
the team.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
doesn't want
to
to
the team.
abandon his team. He
He
doesn't
does.
want to
Yeah,
abandon
but
the team.
he
Yeah,
he will have to adjust probably that mentality because it
yeah.
was proven that when he was injured and he came back, he didn't play against Peru, and when he came back from that injury, the first injury against Ecuador, he wasn't 100% full. But obviously, Messi at a 70-60%, is a great
Still
asset.
better than everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a great asset. Of course, he's the best player in the world. But unfortunately, then he got another injury now. So I think that from here to the World Cup, uh, we will have to see what's going on with him and with the
Yeah,
rest.
he'll be 39. He'll be 39 years
Yeah,
old. He'll be
that's
39
okay.
years old.
I have no problem. I have no problem. He can be 47. When you have a
Yeah.
when you have a roster of 26 people, it's not like you're giving him a farewell on a last swam or anything. But when you have a roster of 26 people, and you're not no 47 or 49, like I said, you are 39, and you're still active, you deserve to be the number 26 player because
Right.
for whatever you bring to the group, because you are the captain, because you've been an
You're
emblem
the
for
leader.
so many
You're the
years.
leader.
Yeah. So
I felt
usually
that way with
in
Landon.
any
I felt
tournament,
that way. I felt that way with Landon Donovan when he was
yeah,
left off the team. I felt that you could have given one spot to Landon
yeah,
Donovan at that point to the US team. The leadership that Messi brings,
exactly,
you can see the players, they line up behind him in the tunnel. It's like
yeah,
he's the general and they're the soldiers.
yeah.
They're all
That
just talking or whatever. The minute he comes in the tunnel, all the other players get in line and they line up, and he's just such an inspiration. When all the
Yeah,
other guys score, like when Lautaro scores, he goes and runs over. The first thing he does is he hugs Lionel Messi
yeah.
on the bench. So he
And
brings a lot. Yeah.
let's be honest. We covered so many tournaments and so many big tournaments. When you have 23 man roster before, you can have an argument. With 26, usually the 24, 25, 25, 26 person on the team doesn't play much during the World Cup
Mhm.
because you use,
Right.
your first 20, 22, 23. So for one player to be Messi, it doesn't matter. Even if I have to, you know, be 39 or tired or not 100%, I will make it, be on the roster for 2026. But besides that, there's so many young players that are coming that they still don't have so many minutes on the team because the middle generation of the old generation with Messi, Di Maria, Otamendi, which are the three oldest ones, but then all the other ones and the middle generation that they don't let them play the new generation yet because Garnacho doesn't play much, Carboni doesn't play much, but it's because we still have that middle generation which is doing great. Lo Celso, Paredes, Rodrigo de Paul, uh,
DePaul.
Enzo
Yep.
Fernandez was a little miss in this particular one, but Cuti Romero, now Lisandro Martinez is replacing Otamendi little by little. So we have so many players that they are really performing well, and in the next 2 years, it's going to be more youngsters that they will be filling up all those spots.
Yeah, yeah. How about the people that were saying, "Oh, it was set up because they had an easy
Yeah,
path"? Give me the
yeah.
answer
Well,
to that. Give me the
I
answer
will
to
tell
that.
I will tell you this. Two things. Um, the first one is that I'm so glad because I mentioned during the whole tournament when they asked me that Colombia was the best team that I saw playing in this particular tournament. They played extremely well against Brazil, against Uruguay. They got determination. They got a great player on James Rodriguez. They have
Mm.
great defense. The goalkeeper was good. The coach was good. They were making a good decisions. He got they got everything in their favor. Colombia was the best team of the tournament. Colombia got the best player in James. Colombia got a lot of fans supporting him, making him feel at home. Colombia got even Shakira singing at the halftime. And we
That's right.
and
That's
with
right.
all of that, Argentina beat them. So more power to Argentina, not being on the on the best tournament of the last 5 years, not being having the best player in Leo Messi this time, not needed Dibu Martinez, but only in one match on the penalty kicks because besides that, he didn't make so many saves. On top of that, we beat the best team with the best player, with the best fans, with the best singer, with everything. So more power to Argentina. And the second one is that in 26 years, nobody thought that everything was fixed for all the other teams. Now, in the last 4 years, everything is fixed for Argentina. The penalty
So
kicks in Qatar.
when Argentina was losing for those 2 decades, nobody was saying, "Oh,
Nobody.
it's being fixed for." It's only when they started winning. When they
Yeah,
started winning.
that's it. So
Yeah.
it's kind
Yeah.
of ridiculous. I thought at this particular moment, and that's what we were discussing today with our friends and colleagues, is that this is a time that it was a fair final. The referee, it was more than correct. Everything was
Yeah.
perfect in terms of on the field.
Yeah, and it was
Nothing to.
even for 112 minutes.
Yeah,
112 minutes. That game was even. Yeah.
that's it. It was very even. So when I say, well, this time you can't complain, they go, oh no, but the bad was much easier for Argentina. They always find something to cry. They always find something to get Argentina that they didn't deserve it and it was help. At this point, in the first tournaments like in Brazil or whatever, you feel like okay, they're crying because Argentina is winning again. But now it feels a little ridiculous. It feels a little
Mm.
ridiculous that everybody is finding, I'm sorry for the term, stupid excuses just to get, to say that Argentina didn't deserve this one and it was the clear winner. I
Right.
think it's war now. I think
It's
it's
legit.
now
Yeah,
now
yeah. That's
now
old.
now they
That's an old
really,
story.
yeah, now they really sound like sore losers. I will say that by now it's done. By now, it shouldn't be any more of this talk, And I don't want to keep going on to this, but listen, guys, uh, someday it will be much better, and you will look better if you said, you know what, Argentina, even if they are not on top of the game, the whole team got a lot of character. They know how to play the finals. It was show.
They know how
I
to
think.
win. They know how to
Yeah,
win. They learned how to win. They know how to
yeah,
win. Even
and
when
it's
they're
not
not
only
playing their
Messi.
best. The best teams, right? The best teams in all sports, they don't always play the best game,
No,
but they figure out a way to win. That's the difference
that's it.
between a champion and the one that finishes second or third, is who figures out how to win. And Argentina definitely figured out how
Yeah,
to win. Let me ask you a couple things before you have to go, and then I'm going to handle Fernando only has limited time and doesn't really want to talk about all the mess before the game. So I'm going to talk about the mess before the game. That's how I'm going to close. I have a lot to say about that. I've written a column about it. Let's talk about Inter Miami, since the podcast is called Inside Inter Miami. Uh, let's get to that team now, the black and pink. Messi is out. We spoke to Tata Tuesday morning. And he's
today.
definitely with an ankle injury out for the 2 games this week, no question. And we
Ah,
don't know after that.
yeah.
Um, how do you think Inter Miami? They've won 4 games without Messi, without Suarez. They won 4 games, 3 of them on the road. Was an incredible run. They were still in first place. Now they have slipped. They just slipped behind Cincinnati with a very bad lopsided 6-1. This team had never given up 6 goals in the history of the 4 years, had never given up 6. What do you think going forward? For they have basically a few games and then the League's Cup in the middle, and then they resume the regular season. What is your feeling about where this team is right now? Tata said that he doesn't really think they're a legitimate top 3 right now. They're not consistent enough. He feels that Columbus, Cincinnati, and LAFC are a little bit above Inter Miami, and that Miami, of course, he's doing that also to motivate his players, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But he wants them to, when everyone's together, he said maybe when everybody is together and everyone's back from all these tournaments and injuries. But right now, he doesn't feel that they're top 3. How do you feel about Inter Miami right now, where they are going into the game Wednesday night? They play Toronto Wednesday night and at home, and then Chicago at home on Saturday.
Yeah, a lot of things. And I'm laughing now because Tata Martino, every time he starts to answer a question, he goes, "Let me see," in Spanish. He goes always like, "A ver," and then he starts
Avid,
with "A ver,"
Avid.
and
He
then he
does. He always says Avid.
yeah, he always says "A ver," and then he starts with the answer.
That's true.
Uh, if he hears me saying this, maybe, but it's true. It
But
makes
it's
me
true. No,
laugh.
he does. Yeah.
It makes me laugh. A ver, the thing is, let me see. Let me see. The thing is that it was a surprise. He has to losing to Cincinnati 6-1, but it was something like he also mentioned during the press conference. It happens maybe twice a year in a season that you lose. A lopsided like that, like it happens
Badly. Yeah.
away with the New
With
York
the
Red
Red
Bulls
Bulls.
at the beginning of
Yep.
the season. I was there in New York. I think that the consistent will be the same exactly 4 games that we play without Messi and Suarez, that we have to put the whole team on the same similar thing that happens with Argentina. If you don't have Messi, then there are people who's playing that game. They play like crazy and they want to win for the team and for Messi and for the captain and for the ones that are not there.
Yep.
It happens
Yeah, and
when
they
we got
want to show, and they want to show, and they want to
yeah,
show that there's
and they need
more to the
to.
team than Messi. Yeah.
Yeah, they want and they need to because everybody wants to be part of the starting 11 and the rotation is bigger. Remember last year when I was asking Tata Martino, Tata, when are you going to start the rotation? No, we put the same
Rotation.
11 and we won. He was right. We won the League's Cup. But I was right too. You needed to change. You needed the rotation because right after League's Cup, we didn't make it into the playoffs because the players start to fall down. Messi got injured in the national team against Ecuador. Other players got red card, whatever.
Jordi
Yeah,
Alba was
Jordi
injured
Alba.
too.
So
Yep.
now we are doing the rotation, and Tata Martino is doing a perfect rotation and keeps everybody happy. See what happened? Everybody feels like they are in the starting lineup. If they don't play in the
Mm-hmm.
starting 11, it's because that particular week, either it's a little injury or it's a red card or accumulation of yellow cards, but everybody feels like they belong to the starting lineup. And that's the mentality of our team. So the games from now on, they will be exactly the same. Let's fight. Let's try to win for the team. if we win 2-1 every game from here to the end of the season, I'm perfectly fine. There is I don't think it's going to happen another 6-1, like Cincinnati did to us. I don't think it's going to
Right.
be again something like that during this season. It happens to LAFC too. They lost big the other
It
day.
just happened. They just lost.
Yeah,
Was it 5 or 4-1? They lost
yeah.
huge, LAFC.
So
And
it could
Cincinnati
happen.
lost. By the way, Cincinnati, after beating Miami 6-1, they lost to Charlotte.
Yeah,
And Miami had beaten Charlotte. So they're,
and we beat
it's
Charlotte and we beat Columbus, and Columbus then went
right.
and win big against LAFC. So, Michelle, I divided this year in different cycles. There is 2 more games to finish this cycle. This
Right.
cycle is the one that it finishes right before Leagues Cup. So we have 2 more
Hmm.
games. There are 2 home games. If we got those 6 points, it will be an amazing task because out of
Right.
the 7 games without Messi and Suarez, we will make it, a huge amount of points to be
Of points.
perfectly clear.
Yes.
So
And
it's two
nobody
more
thought
games.
that would happen. No one
Yeah,
thought that would happen because everyone before was saying, "Oh my goodness, when Messi and Suarez are gone and
yeah,
Diego go, it's going to fall off a cliff." And they have not. They definitely did not. The,
yeah,
the the Cincinnati game was an anomaly. That was very
yeah.
different. But they had won 4 in a row without the stars and different people scoring. Kramashi scoring, Robert
On the
Taylor,
road, on the road.
Ian Frey on the road. Ian Frey with 2 goals. I mean, a
Yeah.
lot of people have been contributing. A lot of people have been
Yeah,
contributing. Yeah.
we love this team. I know, that I work for Inter Miami Radio, the official radio that we broadcast every game. So we are fans of the Inter Miami. I never say anything different. But if you're talking objectively, this is a good team. Yes, Martino says that we are not the top 3, but we are in the mix right there. We can definitely play toe to toe to anyone. Cincinnati case, yes, it was an anomaly, something that usually doesn't happen. And well, we'll see what happens in these 2 games. Finish this. Leagues Cup is gonna be a different story. Uh, at this moment it's 50-50. We don't know what's gonna happen. We play Puebla next Saturday, the following Saturday.
Right.
And then we have to play Tigres. We don't know. I mean, it's a tournament that we are not gonna be probably with Messi a lot because
That's what I'm thinking.
no,
It's too
no,
soon. It's next
yeah, it's
Saturday. I
too
mean, he
soon.
couldn't
It's
even
no,
barely walk. I don't see him
no, no,
playing
no.
next
I
Saturday.
don't think that
No.
I don't think he will play. I will expect him maybe. Hopefully we will qualify because out of the 3 teams, 2 advances. So maybe if we qualify to that, it's a it's a month-long tournament. So we have to qualify first, and then hopefully we can have some minutes of Messi for the second round. But the main thing I think this year, I think that pretty much at this time everybody is thinking MLS Cup, and to think MLS Cup, you have to think playoffs in the top 3. So that
Hmm.
will be the goal right now for us. The same thing that
Yeah, to
Tata
get a
says in the
home
beginning.
court. You want to get the home field. You want to get the home field
Yeah, yeah.
advantage too.
Remember what
Yeah.
Tata was saying in the beginning? Our main goal right now is the Conca Champions. We want to win the Conca Champions because
Right.
if that, we're gonna go to the club World Cup next year. Well, now I think
Right.
that even if they don't say it, this time of the year, we are all thinking about MLS Cup, and to think about that, we have to think top 3 in the Eastern Conference, and the Leagues Cup. It will be great,
A
but
bonus.
I
A
don't.
bonus. If they do
Yeah,
well,
it's
it's
a
a
bonus.
bonus.
It's a
Yeah.
bonus.
It's a
That's it.
bonus. Yeah,
That's
they
the
are
word.
defending champion. I'm sure they would love to hold the cup again, but I do think they don't want to, for 2 years in a row, they don't want to get a league's cup and not make the playoffs. And,
Yeah,
I think their
no,
goal
the
is definitely
playoffs, the
playoffs in MLS
playoffs,
Cup.
the playoffs. Pretty much, we already in right now because we're not
Yeah,
gonna
yeah, they have
finish.
so many
Yeah,
points. Yeah,
but still, we want to finish with the home field advantage and finish in the top 3. So I think that's the goal. At least is my goal. I would love to win the League's Cup again. It's a tournament against the Mexican League. Of course, we wanted to there, but you cannot make Messi and our veterans player to overplay because we know what happened then at the end of the season. They get more prone to injuries. They
exactly.
get more prone to going again. Again, don't forget that Messi will have to go again to the qualifiers for the World Cup in September again, and hopefully nothing will happen there. God forbid anything happen again. But that's what happens now. We have to think. I mean, I'm sure right now the whole coaching staff is making all the adjustments to see how it's going to be from here to the end of the year. But like I said, hopefully we make it into the top three. And coming back to the players that we're losing now, we just lost
You're losing
Kremachi. Yeah,
Kremashi's at the Olympics. Diego Gomez is going to be in the
yeah, but
Olympics.
Gomez will play against.
Boosie,
Yeah, Gomez will
yeah,
play one more game
Gomez is going
before.
to play Wednesday. Yeah,
Yeah,
Gomez is going to play Wednesday night and leave for the Olympics on
yeah,
Thursday. We do,
right.
Boosie will not be. Boosie will be
No,
serving a red card with 2
that's right.
yellows. So Busquets will not be available for the Wednesday night game, but will be available for the Saturday game.
And David Ruiz, it was not called by Honduras.
Right.
And Federico Redondo, another big piece that we weren't so sure he he's not called. He
He's an
didn't.
alternate. Right. He
He's
was an
an alternate. So
alternate
hopefully no one will get injured in the in the Argentina national team on the
Argentine team.
Olympics
Right.
from here to there. So I think that we need Federico Redondo more than the Argentina national team needs Federico Redondo.
Right.
So I
Exactly.
think it's gonna be fine if he stays. So if you think about it, if you look again to the roster, it's the same thing over and over. You miss one or two players, but they are ready to go in there, and that is a very important
Right.
thing. That something that Martino says when we get all together, all the players. I'm sorry, Tata. I don't think that it will ever happen that we have the whole roster because
Everybody. Right.
between qualifiers and Copa America now the Olympics and injuries or red card, it's difficult to have all the players at the same time. So I think we're doing fine. I think he's doing an excellent job with the rotation.
I do too. I think he's doing a really good job.
Yeah.
I think Tata has done an excellent job. I mentioned the last episode. I think he really has done a great job, especially in the absence of Messi and Suarez and the other things. He's been able to manage the minutes, rotate, and the team is really playing very, very well, except for the game against Cincinnati. I'm
I
gonna
got
let
one
you
more thing.
go.
I got
Yeah,
one
go
more
ahead.
thing to tell you.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Maybe you didn't see it because he's in the last hour and a half. We will have a new center back coming
Okay.
coming soon. They open the window, another transfer window that it just opened. We will have very soon in the next hours officially will be announced that we have a new center back. You know that Tata mentioning every time we ask him that this transfer window is
That's what
not
they need.
it's not that crazy, but we were looking since Freire got injured. We were looking for a
Injured.
center back.
Yes.
It's a center back from my country, actually
I'm
from a team
shocked.
from my
I'm
team.
shocked. Wait, I'm shocked that you mean Inter Miami's going to sign an Argentine player.
From
I
no
am
no,
I'm
he
I'm
signed.
shocked.
Yeah,
Stop
not
the
only that,
presses. Stop the presses. Stop the presses.
he's signing a River Plate center back, and it's not Gonzalez Pires. It's not Gonzalez Pires. Uh, no, it's a center back that is not playing much in River Plate lately. He was a very good player at one point. Then he got injured. Then he never came back to the full strength or to the level that he was before. But David Martinez, a center back that is
Oh yeah, his
that
name had come up. His name had
yeah
come up a while back. Yeah.
is
Yeah.
coming soon. River Plate is trying to get rid of some of the players because he have a big roster that River Plate just signed a lot of players now. So he's gonna be on a loan with an option to buy. He's coming to help that center back because we have to use Busquets a couple of
Right.
times because they were not.
As a center back. Right.
Toto Avilés was in a red card. Christoph was injured at one point. Toto was injured at one point. Freire went out completely. Sometimes we put Noah Allen there. So now we're gonna have a true center back. Hopefully, it will get to the level that I remember him playing in the starting 11 of River Plate. So David Martinez is coming very soon.
All right, there you go. You're getting breaking news here from Fernando Fiore.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you so much, Fernando. I'm going to let you go because I'm going to close off with my commentary on what happened
Okay.
before the game and the chaos. And I know you like to you're fun. You like to just have fun. You don't want to talk about any serious stuff. So,
Yeah, no.
any,
I have to say I was very worried and I was very sad. But again, I can't talk much because I haven't seen it from firsthand like many of our colleagues.
right,
I was already in the press box. I saw the videos that everybody saw, but I don't like to talk about a serious issue I love entertainment, and when there are serious issues are coming, if I'm there watching it happen, I can give my opinion. But I wasn't exactly where the things were going on. I saw the videos that everybody did. So again, I rather don't talk about something that I didn't have firsthand. So I
Right.
let you
Okay.
handle it.
All right. Thank you. And thank you so much. It's always so much fun to talk to you. I talk to you all the time, but it's fun to have you on the podcast. I know that everybody watching and listening is enjoying this conversation. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of your week. Well, I'll see you at the game on Wednesday night.
Please, for all the viewers of your podcast, if you're watching on TV because you pay your subscription, it's lovely. But if by any chance in any part of the planet, like it happens to many of my friends that in Argentina or in Spain or in Chile or in any part of the world, you can listen to us. Leo Vega is the play-by-play. Fernando Fiore is the commentary of the every single match on radio. So Deportes Radio FC is our app. It's crystal clear. Even if you are at the end of the world, all my friends from Argentina, they say that it's a perfect sound. Is Deportes Radio FC our app?
Thank
Bye
you.
bye.
That's perfect. So keep that in mind, guys. Write it down. Write it down and listen to Fernando for the next games. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Say hello to David.
So I'm going to end. All right. Thank you. I'm going to end today's show talking about the chaos that ensued at the stadium, at Hard Rock Stadium, just for a few minutes to close out this episode, because everybody's talking about it, not only in Miami but all over the country, all over the world, and saying Miami doesn't deserve the World Cup now, and it was horrible. It was a terrible situation. I wrote a column that was in today's paper that is online saying that it was one of the saddest moments of my 37-year career. And yes, I am that old. I've been doing sports writing for 37 years. I've covered 14 Olympics, 6 World Cups. I've covered many Super Bowls, NCAA football games, Final Fours, you name it. And I've covered many soccer games at Hard Rock Stadium, including games with Colombia and games with Argentina. Never, 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 never. This was unprecedented. This is not a normal occurrence. And that's why it made me very sad, because the people who already don't like soccer in this country and want to trash it and say, oh, you see, it's just a bunch of crazy, Latin fans, and, a lot of racist things are said on social media after this episode happened. People just started saying very ugly things about Hispanic people, about soccer fans in general, and about Miami, my city, which yes is crazy, but we are not bad people here in Miami. There was a subset of fans who were not only unruly, but they were breaking the law. These are people who just thought that they could bust into a stadium and watch when other people had done it the right way and bought tickets and paid a lot of money for these tickets. There was a subset of fans who were very, they were not following the law. They were not following the rules. They were extremely horrible and despicable. The behavior was absolutely despicable and savage, and they ruined it. They didn't ruin the game went on, turned out to be, very close game, and everybody watched on TV and people enjoyed it. But it really left a stain. It left a stain that will last forever on this particular Copa America final. There's a stain on my city. There's a stain on Hard Rock Stadium. There's a stain on the Copa America tournament, on CONMEBOL, on the organizing committees. And, yes, what could have been done differently? They had to make some very tough decisions. There were 800 police officers. I want to stress 800 police officers were on site at the stadium, which is quadruple what they have for a typical Miami Dolphins football game. They usually have 200 to 250. They had 800 police officers that were there at the stadium. So there were enough police officers, but there were problems with the organization. There were some problems with the organization. One was that they didn't have in mind, they were trying to check cars to make sure that people had game tickets in the car. They would ask you couldn't just have a parking pass. They started off doing that, but then as the crowds got more and more bigger crowds, longer lines of cars waiting to get in. From what I understand, it started to get a little bit lax, and they were letting cars in without checking whether people had game tickets. Also, a lot of people were arriving on foot. People were taking ride shares, Ubers, taking Lyft, and being dropped off 20-minute walk away. And then they just walk over and walk into the campus. So a lot of non-ticket holders were they were next to the stadium. They were not outside a perimeter. That is the biggest mistake I feel that was made, that in a case like this, a Copa America final between, two rivals, Argentina, Colombia, a lot of people did not have tickets to that game who wanted to be close. These are some of the most passionate fans. And when I arrived at the game, and I wrote this in my column, it was a beautiful festive scene. They were barbecuing steak and chicken and sausage. There was Latin music playing. Everybody was dancing. Argentinians were dancing next to Colombians. They were taking pictures together. It was a wonderful scene. It was a big party. I did not feel threatened at all by the scene in the parking lot. What happened was, just when it was time for the gates to open, for the people to go into the stadium, everybody just started rushing, 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 rushing. And it was taking too long to get people through. People were waiting more than 2 hours in line, and it was very hot. And a lot of the people who did not have tickets just go through and ram through the security. And it became a very dangerous, a very, very dangerous situation. Everybody now has seen all of the ugly images that are hard to get out of our minds, and it was scary. It was scary for the people who were there. I was already inside, as Fernando was. I arrived at very early. I arrived at 3:30 for an 8 o'clock game because I knew it was going to be crowded. I like to get there and get my seat, and like my mom always says, con calma. I like to arrive at my assignments con calma and get everything calm, and be ready for when the game starts. But for the people who arrived a little bit later, it was a very scary situation, very tense, very scary. And, I hope I never, ever, 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 ever see that again. They do have to make some changes coming up for the World Cup in 2 years in 2026. I believe that a security perimeter ring around the stadium campus as a whole, which is what I've seen at Olympics and I've seen at other big events, where you cannot get close to the stadium itself unless you have a ticket. There are entry points. And then, and then even for all the ticket holders who are there, the entry into the gates has to be a little bit quicker. It was a little bit slow, and people get very anxious and they start to push, and then confusion starts, and then violence starts. So it was very sad what happened. It's sad that is sort of overtaking the conversation of what a wonderful game it was between Argentina and Colombia, two fantastic teams, two soccer loving nations with most of their fans were wonderful and don't deserve to be painted with a broad brush that is being painted now, when people just say the soccer fans this, or the Colombian fans that, or the Argentine fans this. It was a group, a subset of fans that did this, not everybody. It is still a wonderful sport. It is still a wonderful city. It is still a wonderful stadium. I've seen many sporting events there, never had any problems. So anyway, I'm going to sign off by saying that I hope people can also focus on the positive. Yes, there's a lot of attention and should be headlines about what happened there. It was dangerous. There were failures in the security side. It cannot happen again. But I hope that that's not all that people remember of Copa America 2024. So with that, I'm going to sign off. Michelle Kaufman from the Miami Herald. You can watch this podcast at our website, miamiherald.com. You can watch it on YouTube. You can listen on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, wherever you get your podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in week after week. Tell all your friends. And I have to do the pistolero because he did score. Luis Suarez did score for Uruguay, and we'll see if he can score for Inter Miami on Wednesday night against Toronto. Thank you and goodbye.